Saying goodbye is never easy. I have spent most of my life working with the United Nations.
From his pivotal role as the 7th Secretary General of the United Nations to his tireless efforts in championing peace, human rights, and sustainable development, Kofi Annan was truly a global visionary. But his time at the UN wasn't all good.
In the Gisozi Genocide Museum in Rwanda, Kofi Annan is not a hero, let alone a man of peace.
In 1994, Hutu started killing the Tutsi just because of who they were. This terrible event is called the Rwandan Genocide. Many innocent people, both Tutsi and some moderate Hutu, lost their lives during this tragic time.
The man who was only Assistant Secretary for Peace Operations during this painful period in the country remains a controversial figure. I cannot say that he left a good legacy to the Rwandans.
Kofi Annan was the head of the United Nations, head of peacekeeping missions.
The only legacy he left to the Rwandans was that we thought the international community existed.
Critical information that if it had been shared by all members of the UN Security Council and probably all members of the UN.
In reality, Kofi Annan showed us that the international community did not exist.
Probably genocide could have been averted. That is what most Rwandans, I think, remember with Kofi Annan.
The former Ghanaian diplomat had repeatedly expressed his regret at the international community's failure in the Rwandan genocide.
The international community could not muster the resources or the will to come to the aid of the Rwandese people.
Because 22 people who were guilty of genocide, of committing atrocities, were executed, they shouted so much. And when innocent, when babies were being killed for nothing, just for what they are, he kept quiet.
It was a failure of all of us. It was our collective failure. When this happened, we all failed Rwanda.
I propose that you, the business leaders here gathered in Davos, and we, the United Nations, initiate a global compact of shared values and principles which will give a human face to the global market.
The United Nations Global Compact is a strategic initiative that supports global companies committed to responsible business practices in the areas of human rights, labor, the environment, and corruption.
Part of Kofi Annan's genius was he invited business, but he also addressed civil society and labor organizations.
Of shared values and principles which will give a human face to the global market.
And at the UN Global Compact, we are trying to embody the values and the thinking of the UN.
I call on you, individually through your firms and collectively through your business associations, to embrace, support, and enact a set of core values in the areas of human rights, labor standards, and environmental practices.
You won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2001. Where were you when you were informed? And could you describe your impressive Nobel Peace Prize lecture?
Got a call from my spokesperson here, Fred Eckert. He had woken up and was outside listening to the radio. So Fred called and said, I think he won the Nobel Peace Prize.
In 2003, the United States, along with a few other countries, decided to go ahead and start a military operation in Iraq. However, many countries and Kofi Annan representing the United Nations didn't agree with this decision. They believed that going to war with Iraq was not the best solution and could lead to more problems.
War must always be a last resort. But whatever view one may take of the war in Iraq,
They have indicated that it will be unwise to attack Iraq now.
I think obviously there are divisions, and this is why they need to come together and seek a compromise and work together.
Is there a problem I can help you with?
Elmo wants to sing the alphabet, Mr. Annan. But he always sings it. I want to sing it.
Wait a minute. You have no problem.
No?
No?
Why don't we solve this problem the United Nations way? Together!
Together?
Together.
Even through all of that, Kofi Annan still emerged a great hero.
And I firmly believe that when leaders fail to lead, the people can lead and make them follow. One is never too young to lead and never too old to learn.
I don't doubt the difficulty of the task or underestimate the barriers to success. But I'm more than ever confident about our capacity to change our world for the better.
I remain convinced that the only answer to this divided world must be a truly united nations. Thank you once again, my dear friends and colleagues. I will count on you to carry on your indispensable work, and I wish you all success in the years ahead.